Hello, everyone. This is Gorka Bartolome again in this second interview of this series of interview that are going to precede this webinar in September, and finally the mentor coach training certificate that will take place in New York in November 2019. And today we are delighted because we are so lucky to have with us Patricia Quidington, which is an excellent coach and also a great mentor. So Patricia, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me for this interview, and thank you for having me on board.
Oh, it's our pleasure. And thank you for accepting this invitation, and also thank you for sharing with us all your knowledge, experience, and wisdom. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Okay, so Patricia, could you tell us a little bit of your background, your experience with coaching, and also as a mentor coach?
Yes, with pleasure. So my background is in business, is in corporate business. You probably hear a little bit of an accent, and the accent is French. The family name is very British, so somehow I married the historical enemy, but we're allowed to be married now. So I have been in the field of corporate, a business for several years, and then very naturally moved into corporate training and corporate coaching as well. So a lot of executive coaching, which I have done for, I would say, kind of 12 plus years. So I work with mainly corporations and companies worldwide in terms of leadership growth and talent management, learning and development. And a lot of the coaching that I do as well is related to the mental side. So mentor individuals who are coaches and have been mentored for years as a coach. I think it's a crucial aspect of our business, of our industries, for many, many different reasons. I would say that from the mentee side, it's very important to work very closely with a mentor in order to make sure that you are practicing those coaching skills, that you stay very close to the ICF core competencies. And this is all in the interest of the client. We're here to serve the client. So if you do really practice coaching and a high level of coaching, then you're really able to help your clients accordingly. So from a mentee side, I think it's a wonderful experience because it's often from the mentor a safe platform. You get feedback, you get observations, you get suggestions, you sometimes get feedback, then that takes us to suggestions. And it's often in a very not judgmental, safe place. So as a mentee, benefiting from a mentor is a fantastic opportunity to make sure that you keep the high standards of what is requested in terms of ICF core competencies that takes us back to the client. From a mentor point of view as well, it's a wonderful experience because the mentee, the clients, will tend to sometimes challenge you. It helps you to, again, back to the quality, have some kind of dual responsibility and accountability on what coaching is and what coaching is not. As a mentor, after years of working with clients and mentoring, there is a temptation sometimes to go back to a little bit of a more directive coaching and advising, which is that, when you mentor individuals, it helps you to really, again, go back to the open-ended questions and not fall into the advising trap that sometimes is very tempted to fall into. And also, I would say that it helps you to make sure that you are practicing pure coaching. Again, pure coaching, meaning we are the definition of pure coaching in the sense of we are working very closely with the ICF core competencies, and with the increased competition that we have on the market now in terms of coaches, it's important that we bring to the clients that level of quality. And both the mentor and the mentee can help sustain that. So I would say these are crucial roles, increasingly crucial roles that we have in our industry.
I couldn't agree more, and I think you have resumed beautifully all the great benefits of being a mentor coach and also being a mentee in this mentor coach process. So thank you very much for that synthesis of all these ideas. They have been great. Thank you so much. What's your experience as a mentor coach?
What is my experience as a mentor coach? I've been mentoring coaches for several years now. What is fascinating about it is that as the mentor, you always get to learn as well from from the people that you kind of observe and give feedback to. So it's highly rewarding in the sense that you see that you are really helping your mentee, you're really helping those individuals improve their coaching skills, grow their coaching skills, become more expert, and then therefore you know that this is also going to continue down to the clients. So this is all kind of beneficial all the way. So as a mentor, it brings you high satisfaction in terms of observations and how you can help others and peers, making sure that we are coaching at that standard, at that level. And then also what's fascinating is that because we all have our own style as coaches, it's super interesting, if I may say, to see how others tend to coach. By observing what's their own style, what's your style. Not that you're going to compare, but it's you really get to learn as well from that and how they tend to practice. We all have, when we start with a client and we start an engagement, we stay in the moment with a client, and but we still got to be going maybe different ways or have different. The journey's got to look different for each coach, and this is why it's really interesting to observe and to listen and provide feedback on how they do it. What's their style? What do you like in those styles? And it helps towards the end of a relationship to also brainstorm around different style of coachings and what people tend to do and your own preferences versus their preferences. So it's a wonderful experience as a mentor to help your peers grow and mature, but also they do help you grow and keep a level of standard that is requested by the industry, and that I strongly believe in.
Mm-hmm. All right. I don't know if you have the same feeling, but many, not to say almost all of the coaches that come to me for a mentoring process, they come just because they have to apply for a credential. They need these 10 mentor hours. What do you think about that?
That's a very good point, and I think that's a challenge. That's a challenge that we still currently have. Yes, they do need those hours, and they're thinking, okay, I'm gonna kind of tick the box, and therefore I'm gonna make sure that I get my accreditation. However, what I tend to see is that some of those individuals tend to come back further down the line to mentors because they might be getting the accreditation and then off we go. I'm starting to coach people, but we still need support. We still need to hear feedback. We still need to be observed. We still need to be challenged as coaches and not kind of rest on our expertise and think that I'm done now. Unless we are willing to explore again with a mentor, unless we are willing to be challenged, unless we are willing to be stretched, unless we are willing to keep on this journey of continuous growth and development, we're going to be an okay coach. We might not impact or we might not help the client as much in terms of capacity as we could if we were on regular basis working with a mentor.
Yeah.
So to me, there's going to be some limitations at some point. And then the client also is going to feel it, and the client is going to know, and the clients are going to want to work with the good coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to be a good coach and to stay at that level, you need to mentor, and you need to have peers who can mentor you on a regular basis. So to me, it's a kind of a check of that container, that safety platform that does make sure that we are keeping to the standards. And we are working very closely with the ICF core competencies, and we are serving the client the best we can by our own developments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. It's something like, for me, it's as you say, for me, maybe it's the only way to improve as a coach.
Yes.
Because otherwise you get stuck, you get used to your way of coaching, your style, and you're not able to move forward from there.
Yes.
And even I'm talking about the higher levels as an MCC, for
Yes.
instance. Even as an MCC, I sometimes just call my mentor because I need to review some sessions because I don't want to, go to the dark side or do things that maybe are not related to the best compliance of this ICF core competencies.
Absolutely. It's important that we keep stretching ourselves. And unless we do that, we're not, as you say, we're going to reach a kind of a platform and then we're just going to stay there. But we're not really able to then move on to the higher level and respond even better to our clients.
Yeah, that's the point. And that's something that you also mentioned in the beginning. Actually, the most important figure here is the client, because
Absolutely.
it's the one who is going to receive this coaching. And the better we are as coaches, the better benefit they're going to get from our coaching.
Yes. And also, if I may add, in terms of relationship of, mentor, mentee, or being a mentor, it's an industry, despite the fact that we work with many clients and many different industries. So we're constantly out and about and interacting. It could somehow, and maybe that sounds a little bit contradictory, but it could somehow also feel a little bit lonely occasionally. And a mentor is here really to kind of be that peer that supports you and that accompanies you and that encourages you. And I think that's key, because it can feel lonely occasionally. And it's, how do I check myself with others? How do I know that I'm actually doing a good job as a coach? It's important to have that kind of bouncing board and that mirror as that is the coach that really helps you to reflect back on your coaching style.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about mentoring the mentor?
What do I think about mentoring the mentors? That's also key. And I've seen, and I got to experience, and I sometimes join, when I have the availability, join some groups of mentors where we are peer mentors and we mentor each other, or we tend to share experiences and share best practices. So what we tend to come across and the type of mentees that we work with. So yes, I think there's never end to it, and there should not be any other end to it. And there surely, in our industry, there should not be someone at the top. You see what I mean? Or someone at the very top who says, well, I know it all and I've got it all, and therefore it's going to cascade down and you're all going to learn from me. I think it's a kind of a continuous sharing of best practices and expertise, and that we should all see ourselves at the same level. So I fully support the concept of mentoring the mentor. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And from the business point of view, how do you think that being a mentor coach can affect the coach business?
So I would say from a business point of view, I would say that unless we have this kind of mentor coach, the quality and the standards might not be as high as they should be, back to the ICF core competencies. So here I'm talking purely about a kind of quality point of view. So they kind of, in French we call that garde-fou, which are they are the pillars that really help to keep a certain standards of that industry, so it doesn't become shaky and unstable. That's what I would say from a business point of view. Now, also from a other business point of view, in terms of you are looking to become a mentor coach and building your business, I think it's a wonderful way as well to have a part of your business which should be dedicated to that. So there is a demand. There is a high demand for mentor coaches. You can specialize in and see and have your clients on individual basis, on group basis. Often there's never an end to a mentor. There's a continuity, so that the relationship doesn't really end. So often the same population would tend to come back to you for those regular checks that we've addressed earlier, every couple of years, every 3 years. So you kind of start building as well a nice niche of clients there. If you are looking to become a mentor coach, it's an interesting, it could be an interesting part of someone's business plan, if I may say.
Great. As an end to our interview, Patricia, what kind of piece of advice could you give to those student coaches that are still hesitating about training as mentor coaches?
So the kind of last bit of advice of why we should, sorry, because we got cut a little bit, why they should be looking to really become mentor coaches?
Yeah, well, there are some coaches, some students that are still hesitating. Should I be trained as a mentor coach? Should I not? Should I do it by myself? So what would you tell them?
Yes, I would say that training as a mentor coach first and joining a program will help you to stay connected with your peers, So that's key. Having that network of individuals that you kind of work with on a very regular basis, that's an important part of it. Of course, a mentor program will give you absolutely fantastic foundations and cores to make sure that you are mentoring effectively and that yourself, you are practicing these ICF core competencies, which takes us back again to serving the client the best we can. So to me, I cannot disconnect being a coach, ICF, our industries and the way it's evolving. I cannot disconnect it to the principles of being a mentor coach or being mentored and being mentored as well. They are together. They work together, and in order to become more efficient coaches and in order to support and help each other and help our industries going through a program of mentor coach is absolutely key, and to me sounds like a very natural evolution that every single coach should take.
Patricia, it's been a delight having you here today. Thank you so much for such a wonderful ideas, knowledge, and experience. Really, thank you.
My pleasure. It's been a real treat to be interviewed, because it's an opportunity again to express and to articulate the importance of what we need for the industry.
Okay, thank you so much. And for all the listeners, so just remind you that to check our website, and also remember to take advantage of our early bird offer that ends September the 15th, I think. So hurry up. There is a big discount you can benefit from. So thank you very much for listening, and we are looking forward to meeting you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.